Hi, and welcome back, boys, ladies, children, everybody. It's time to get back on the folder. Now, I have a bit of a confession. I have messed up a couple of times. Even with my measurements, I messed up. So, hand, wrist problems, sawing. I've sawed them too narrow. The back spring. Okay. And then I filed too much off of the back spacing of a blade. Filed too much off right here. So I had to go. That's the thing. Once you take off too much material, there's no getting it back. You just have to throw it away and go get and do it all over again. So my do-over is evidently was a air hardening sawzall blade, because I have annealed it twice. I done it once with a hand torch, the little MAP gas torch, and I did it with my Rosebud earlier today, and let it cool off good and slow and everything else. Bring it in here and go to drill it, and nothing. I've dulled about 5 drill bits trying to get holes in it, and I know I've annealed it because it was, red hot. So evidently when it cooled down, it must have hardened some more, because I cut it with a sawzall, with a hacksaw, no problem. So that's, and I don't have any more sawzall blades the same thickness. I can't just interchange one saw blade for another one. I wish I could, but every one of them's at different thicknesses. So you basically have to get 2 identical ones to make a back spring out of one and blade out of another one, or make sure that it's big enough, wide enough, long enough to get both of them, which I did. And I had another one that, like I said, I cut it and it won't drill. I've annealed it twice. I've dulled it, like I said, I've dulled just about every 1/8 inch that I got. So my only option, without going and buying a bunch of sawzall blades right here, is to use my knife steel that I used on this one. So that's what I've got. But I'm going to do it exactly the same. I'm going to do it just exactly like it was a sawzall blade. I'm going to hand file it, everything, get it down. It's just that. And I said that you could use the torch to heat treat, and you can, yes, you can. You can also use lump natural wood charcoal and make a dirt hole for a forge. Do like I started with, was a brake drum forge that I made and used a hairdryer with. That worked great. And the charcoal forge, there's a lot of flyers and everything else that come out of it, sparks, no matter if it's got steel in it or not. But you can use that regular barbecue grill, as long as you can get the coals, even the charcoal briquettes, if you can blow air on them and get them hot enough to turn that piece of steel into a non-magnetic piece of steel, then you can stick it in oil after that. Anything you can use to get it hot enough. If you got torches, Rosebuds, cutting torch, whatever, just don't cut it. Don't hit the oxygen lever while you're doing that. It makes a big mess, and so forth and so on like that. If you get it that hot, you can use a turkey cooker. if you can get the flame hot enough and hold the blade or in the back or the back spring in there till it gets hot enough that you can put it goes non-magnetic. I wouldn't try to limit you to just using a hand torch. If you, whatever means that you have at your disposal to get it up to about 1450 degrees, somewhere right in that, you can do. Ting, James Davis at County Line Forge, come up with about the best trick I have ever seen in my life to tell when a blade is ready to be quenched. And he done it when he was on Forged in Fire. And I'm going to give him full credit for this. Now, James, if you're watching me, thank you for this idea. I know you're colorblind, and they wouldn't let you have your color showing glasses. So, what he did was he took a pack of salt from Wendy's, McDonald's, anywhere like that gives you the little packs of salt with your condiments and everything like that. He took one pack of that and opened it and put it on his blade and put it in the fire. When the salt melted, he gave it just another second or two, then pulled it out and quenched it. Same salt melts about 1425 to 1430 degrees, in that range, which is plenty hot enough and plenty non-magnetic enough. So I may have said this before about the salt trick. If you can if you can see colors and test with the magnets, you got it. You can do it without the salt, but the salt is a safety net that you can use on unknown heat sources, how hot they can get. If they get hot enough to melt salt, then they're plenty hot enough to get up to temperature. It may take a while, but you get it up to temperature to melt that salt, it's ready to go in the oil. So with that being said, I have done like everybody else. I have made patterns, and I've laid it on this steel right here. Well, I don't actually have it, but I did lay it on it, and so I'm going to go with mine exactly the same way you would go with yours. Now, I have got I don't know if I ever talked to it about, but I kind of did a little boo-boo on mine. When I laid them out, I let one hole wander just a little bit. All I done was I pricked them with the self-centering, the automatic center punch right here in my Starrett, and that's all I done was punch it just one time, and took it to the drill press, and the drill didn't catch in that little spot. I didn't always. This is just a starter, and I forgot that. This is just a starter. You do this, and then you go ahead and do it with a center punch, and then you go to drill it. So right there, I've got the holes now on there, and I've got them on this. This is long. This is, yes, I cut this long, because like I said, sometimes one file stroke ain't enough, but two is one too many. So you have to really be careful with this, or you start all over again. And another thing, like I said, when you come here and do this back spring has got to have a little bit of pressure on it up, always. If you drill a hole in the correct spot on the handles and your blade just falls in there, then it's not in the correct spot, or the spring needs bent upward just a little bit. You need pressure on it. Pressure holds it open, pressure holds it closed. Pressure is what keeps it from closing on your fingers when you're using it. That and proper knife techniques. Any knife, except for a fixed blade, can fold over on your hand. Any lock can fail. There's a few out there that's would be dang near impossible for it to close on you, but sometimes they will. Not all of them, but some of them. You can break the back spring, the lock mechanism. You can break it by hacking on something and close it, and you're cut. So anyway, I'm gonna get over here. I got to change bits. If I can find another 1/8. I mean, I was trying it with Cobalt drill bits. Cobalt is tough. They wouldn't cut it. They just slick over. So anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm at the drill press right now, and I have glued a piece of sandpaper to the bottom of a dowel rod. Some people call this engine turning. Some people call it jeweling. Do you have to do it? No. Do I want to do it? Yes. Can I? I hope so. So anyway, this is a piece of 180 sandpaper just onto a 1/2" dowel, chucked up, like not too tight or anything. Now you make sure that you're on the insides, which is fine. Right there they are, inside. So put it right there, turn this on, and just pull down. Glue's not dry enough or something. Come on, stay. But this is what it does, what it makes it look like. Just makes circles on it. I'm gonna have to let that sit. They pulled all the glue off of it. No wonder it wouldn't stay. Alright, I'll come back when I get all this done. Okay. I got them jeweled, engine turned. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure we got a right and a left right there. There we go. Boom. Yep. Right there. There we go. Engine turned right there. And all I done was glued a bit of sandpaper, big piece on, or a decent sized piece on there. Well, a spot this big out of a sheet of sandpaper. This is 100 grit instead of 180, and grit don't matter so much about size because you're just touching it anyway. So, and then I tied it on there with billfold. I mean, not billfold, but with sheath cord lace. So now, let's widen this back out a little bit. Okay, now I have this right here on the 2x4, and this is what I use to mount the my other device that's right here, removable vise. So now, we want to get this down, we want to get it held, and because when we get hopefully they're all going straight as it was earlier. So now when we get the back spring right here, it needs to be filed and worked on, so
It goes right there and goes right on there, just like it's supposed to. This one's long, I left it long, so I need to do some filing on that. And for that, we'll go to this this vise right here. I've already kind of done the back of it. I just need to do the front and get the length and everything. So, but anyway, let you know that I hadn't forgot everybody about this. I just see, and that will go right there just as soon. Yep, see, boom, sandwich, perfect. This hole will come later because, like I said, I could not drill. What did I do with it? Probably got mad and threw it away because it burnt. No, now here it is. I even went through the trouble of making new sides for it, but anyway, it just barely did mark it. If you can see it or not. I don't know what this Sawzall blade was, but see, it's thin. And where's the other Sawzall? Yeah, I kind of got aggravated when that didn't. Here's one I was thinking about making a blade out of. It's just this one's too thick for this. And since it's corresponding piece, whatever I done with it, it should be laying over here somewhere or another. But anyway, since I couldn't drill this, I threw the other one away and threw it in the towel and grabbed some thin 1095. So I just, you know, if you want to use 1095 steel instead of a Sawzall blade, that's perfectly fine. You can get it off eBay. You know, I'm sure there's people that'll sell you a piece by the foot. So, you know, you don't need to buy no more than what you need or anything else like that. Yeah, see, this one right here is even thicker than here. So, different saw blades. So, yep, this blade is thinner than this. So that's the reason I started all over again. I ran out of Sawzall blades. And yes, I could probably find a couple of buddies that had some, but anyway, I thought I had more than that. Because I knew I was probably going to goof up a whole lot worse than everybody else would. So anyway, let me get on to this and get this filed, and we'll start doing a little bit of cutting everything down once I get this down. I got the blade right here. It's kind of marked out here, and then we'll go to, I've got bits and pieces here, half a dozen knives that where I've ground too much either out of this upper part or made the blade a little too short. It's just, yeah, I've been one of them days, one of them months. Yep. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get back onto this and file this out, and then I'll come back. inside corner done. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. Inside corner done. Right here. Now we gotta do is sand it down a little bit and get all these burrs off of it, and then we can start thinking about how long we need it and where we need our little notch and everything else on it. So let me get this all slicked up here. I'll come back. Okay, we're gonna set this on 6mm, and this is the best thing you can do with these things. Right there. Do your little scribe. Now, there's our 6mm. Right there. So, now. Yep, that's the best thing you can do with these. Okay. We want to go about a centimeter in front of this, which is 10mm, and we're gonna make a mark right there, and we're gonna take that from there to about there. Let's just go ahead and go. Let's go 15. Right there, that'd be better. Yeah, there we go. Now we want to go right here. Yeah. Yeah, at least 5 in front of it, so that still gives her 10mm. And we want to keep this full thickness back here around the hole just to give it extra strength. Be really important with the Sawzall blade. Now, there we go. Now we take that is 6mm across through there, so we'll clamp it back over here, and we'll hit it with this second cut file. It's double cut. Yeah. It's a 00, one side safe, and we'll get it down to the line. Alright. Okay. Now, I got this down right there. Now, it's just a little proud of the line, which is okay. That's fine. Anywhere now, take your sandpaper and try to sand as many of the scratches out of it as you can right now. So that just helps make sure that there's no stress risers, that you've not left a little corner somewhere with a stress riser in it. These are the most tedious, simplest design that ever was. It's simple, but it works. And tedious because this or the blade you can take too much off of, and you got to remake one or the other or both. So, like I did, not have any of the same thickness that you could do with. So, fortunately, I seem to have plenty of this thin 1095 to do with. Does it need to shine like a mirror? No, but you make sure that there's no big hidden deep scratches where you've left it, say in the corner right here, which is not. I took a round file to it and ran over it, but still, I like to just in these transition areas here, just make sure. Okay, now let's see. Okay, come on now. Yeah, that's a little, got a little flash off in there. Go. Hopefully that will do it right there now. Still got a little flash on it. Come on, get on there. There. Hold the stove. It's not off, it's just tight. Alright. I'll break something here and have to start all over and do all this again. Pinched in a weird angle that I don't want to do, so everything works fine except for this hole. It's not round anymore. Okay, had a little flash in it. I don't have an 1/8 inch drill bit chucked up over there. I take it back to the drill press and do it. It's just where I filed on it. There's a little ridge around it. And I filed it down and it went in the hole. Instead of cutting it off, it went down in the hole on one side. I figured I'd knock it out there, but no, that didn't work. All I'm doing right here that you can't see is I've got a scribe in it. I'm just a tapered scribe from my heating and air conditioning days. One of them that I've had. Wore out a couple of dozen of them through the years. So okay, now. There. Right there. Yeah. Come on. See? The holes are spot on. Like I said, where I filed the flash off, a little bit in there. So now, got lots to be taken off of this. So let me get started doing that. I'll thin this down right here, and we will. Here's my pattern. I know this piece of brass here is just a little bit small. So let's see. It's shorter than what the measurements I give you, so I'm just playing by ear right now, which is okay. And I'm going to put just a little right there. Now to cut this off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Right there. Not a thing. That looks good. So now, I'll take this. Some double-sided tape. Ain't much, but does beat nothing. Okay. Okay. Now, there it is. This is going to go on out just a little bit. Bring that right on in there. Might want to raise that up just a little bit, but I don't think so. A little pressure on it, and then this be right there. So. Now, all right. Well, let's get back to the vise and start filing. Okay, I think that's where I'll call this one. Now, I've done the blade. Here's pattern on it. Everything, I've got it all shaped. I hadn't. Now, notice this back here is still, nothing's been touched. Well, I'm going to file a little bit right there. Get me to maybe take a hacksaw blade and maybe run in there, but probably a file. Maybe even a round file. I got an 1/8 inch round file so around here somewhere. Do that. Now the reason that I have not done anything with this is them two sides are straight and parallel. So when I go to cut the tapers on the blade, I'll have some way of holding this. Now, I used to have a jig for filing, for filing angles with a file, just doing it like that and locking everything in my bench vise over there and doing so. But I don't have that anymore. When I got the belt grinder, even the 1x30, I done away with it. I used it for other things, other projects. So, but anyway, I can use this. And what you need here is you need a stick that's just a little bit wider than this too. I don't have one in here right now, but if you get a stick that's a little bit wider than this right here and you stick it to it, double face tape, glue it down, super glue, whatever like that, and you squeeze down on the stick till you get to the metal and hold it, that gives you more surface area in the vise to hold, to keep it, and it gives you something to back on when you go to file it. And then when you do that, well, you have to take a stick off and then turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. That's just that, and that's the reason I leave this. I've left this on there for doing it with the file. Even doing it with the belt grinder. It's always better to have that back there so you can hang on to it, because if this gets loose and it's every bit sharp any which way or another, you can have a bad day. So leave yourself a room to hang on to it, and or have something to lock it in on till next time, where we'll be filing the blade to shape and get everything done. So in the meantime, if you don't care, like, share, subscribe if you hadn't. Hey, don't cost you nothing. Help me out a little bit there. Get the algorithms going and spread me out all over everything. So, and everything. If nothing else, get out to your garage, your little shop, a spare bedroom, your kitchen table. Do something. Get off the couch, turn off the squawk box, and until next time, it's Bobby Shields saying, God bless.